days you're gonna win. He says some days you're gonna lose. I tell you, I got news for you. You're losing all the time, you never win. No, if you believe that's how it's gonna be, I better put you down. Get up, you take your luck, and come down on the ground. You gotta save me now. You better turn around. And I looked around. I was heading down. Oh, somebody throw me down.
Good morning, good morning. We're halfway through the week. Almost halfway through the month. Look at that. May's flying on by. 9:05 Daily Show smacking you in the nose. A good one for all of you today. We're going to be talking again to our friends at OSF Healthcare as we continue our coverage of National Women's Health Weekend. Today we're going to be talking about osteoporosis and how it affects women and steps that can be taken as well with the director of OSF Rehabilitation Services in Alton, Francis Young. And then in the 10 o'clock hour, 10:30, we're joined by members of Evangelical. They're sending to state for the first time ever, major milestone. They're sending 2 athletes to the state competition, and we're going to talk to them, the coaches, and have some fun in the studio. But, man, can you guys breathe out there today? Like, I don't know if it's just me, but the last 2 days, I feel like I've gone through the ringer. And you've heard my rant before. If I feel like crap, I'd at least rather earn it. You know what I'm saying with this kind of waking up feeling like you've been partying for days without partying for days feeling? You know, like if I earned it, totally with it. But I just don't feel like I've deserved it. I was talking to somebody today, and it's just the amount of allergens in the air just causing something crazy. So I don't know if you can't breathe out there. I woke up feeling like an elephant was sitting on me. I don't know why I'm talking to you about my medical problems, but we have OSF Healthcare here, so maybe they can help me out in a couple of minutes. Hey, but at 9:06, top of the hour news, here's what you need to know. Make sure you sign up for that daily email update and download the RiverBender.com app today. You'll never miss out. You'll get those breaking news alerts and your daily dose of everything local. A benefit event to support Wade Gibson, a beloved hairstylist, community leader, and business owner battling pancreatic cancer, will take place this Saturday, May the 17th at the Pavilion in Camsville. Organized by friends, family, local businesses, the event aims to raise funds for Wade's medical care. James Palmer, Wade's husband and business partner, expressed deep gratitude for the overwhelming community support. The event will feature live music from 2 bands, food, big raffles, and both virtual and in-person silent auctions. Donation and auction items are still being accepted at this time. To contribute, you can contact Brittany for more information on that and donations as a whole at 618-917-2578. That's 618-917-2578. You can also stop by Papa Toodles and Godfrey right there on Homer Adams. The gathering highlights the compassion and unity around Wade during this challenging time. Also in the news today in local sports, Alton High School has accepted the resignation of Desiree Howard as head coach of the girls basketball team, concluding her 6-year tenure. Howard finished with an impressive record of 123 wins and 51 losses, leading the Lady Redbirds to 3 IHSA regional titles, 2 sectional titles, and a third-place finish in state this year. The team consistently surpassed 30 wins each of the last 3 seasons, and athletic director Chris Kacernik thanked Howard for elevating the program's success and announced plans to hire a new coach before the end of the summer to contribute and continue building on the legacy of the Lady Redbirds. House Bill 1237, which aimed to ban school mascots and imagery referencing Native American tribes, did not advance in the Illinois Senate after missing a procedural deadline on May the 9th. The bill sought to prohibit names and symbols such as Braves, Chief, and feather headdresses in schools like Collinsville and Granite City. State Senator Erica Harris expressed relief, calling it a win for schools resisting unfunded mandates. Community members, including Collinsville High Athletic Director Clay Smith, emphasized the mascot's importance in preserving local pride and tradition. With the bill stalled, the mascots remain part of their communities and schools for the time being. We'll keep you updated if more details do emerge on that. Finally, in the news today, 2 men from Alton remain in custody following separate domestic battery cases. Brandon Laughlin, 27, faces multiple charges, including aggravated battery, unlawful restraint, domestic battery, and battery after allegedly striking 2 individuals and unlawfully detaining a family member on the 7th of May. And in a separate incident, Keith Perry, 26, was charged with criminal damage to property and domestic battery after allegedly assaulting a household member on April the 3rd, causing bodily harm and damaging the victim's iPhone. Both men were arrested by the Alton Police Department, and all suspects, again, presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. That's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend this morning. It's 9:09. Let's take a look at weather today, shall we? 74 degrees out there, and it feels warm. 81 is what the real feel is. Humidity at 81%. Almost feels like Florida. Today, mostly sunny, very warm and humid, and tonight, partly cloudy, warm and humid. It was a great day for my AC to stop working. Air quality, yeah, it's new, by the way. I've been getting hit with the gauntlet. Hey, air quality's at 49, which is good. Grass is moderate. Mold is low. Ragweed and tree levels are moderate, too. Take a Claritin, and the UV index is high. Go get a tan out there today. 83 degrees is what awaits us this afternoon for the high temperature. We drop down to 67 degrees overnight as we head into Thursday and Friday, where we can expect some thunderstorms. On Thursday, temperatures reach 87 degrees and drop down to 60, with thunderstorms in the morning, and Thursday night being mostly clear. On Friday, more thunderstorms await us in the afternoon. A heavy thunderstorm could bring some downpours on Friday. Temperatures will reach 85 degrees and drop down to 59 overnight as we head into Saturday. No rain Friday night. On Saturday and Sunday, we got partly sunny skies. On Saturday, a high of 82, a low of 56 degrees, and on Sunday, a high of 75 and a low of 60. That's a look at the next 5. Here's what's happening now. It's 74 degrees in downtown Alton. It's 9:12. It feels like 82 out there now for time and temperature throughout the day. 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back. Rehab, recover, and return home. You can also stay up to date in real time all the time by downloading that RiverBender.com app and never missing out. Hey, while I have you, you know what sounds good today? I mean, it's only going to be 84 degrees. What pairs better with hot weather than barbecue? You know what I'm saying here? I'm just trying to throw this out there for you. Carver's is going to be open in just a few hours. Look at that. I mean, what can go wrong? Now, here's how you spice up your Carver's barbecue experience. Randy's outside with OSF Healthcare. Randy, what if you brought $50 with you extra, slipped it into a slot machine, and then you win the 50 back, so you're up to 100, and then you get your lunch paid for? Just saying, you can do it at Carver's. And plus, with Father's Day coming right around the corner, graduation parties, so much more, 4th of July, Carver's caters. Why are you going to stress out cooking for 40 people? Listen, we've been in kitchens where you got to put that helmet on and you got to go into war. Not with Carver's Barbecue. They got options for everybody, and I'm telling you this, once you go good there once, you won't go back. My family started 3 years ago, and we have not cooked for Christmas in quite some time. Well, the big part anyway. Carver's does the hard work for us, and you can learn more by stopping by at Groveland Street and saying hi, or just giving them a call today at 618-467-9999. And don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with OSF Healthcare. Let's take a look at downtown Alton.
Village has been 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab like 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
When you need a project done right, on budget, and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Naselli on RiverBender.com.
You wanna stay out with your fancy friends. I'm telling you.
Welcome back. 9:18, little bit of change. Wednesday morning, rolling on by. We're back in studio with OSF Healthcare as part of our National Women's Health Week coverage, and really been great to continue these conversations now with Frances Young, the director of OSF Rehabilitation Services in Alton. That's right there at Alton Square Mall, isn't it?
That is right, CJ.
Well, and how are you doing this morning?
I'm well, thank you. It's a sunny day.
Well, and today we're talking about, osteoporosis and some of the different, individuals you guys encounter at OSF. Mm-hmm. And, how should we kind of start this conversation off?
Well, we could just go with a little bit of background on what osteoporosis is. It affects men and women, however, more common in women, and it basically results in bones becoming brittle and weak.
Well, and when it comes to that, I'm sure that having an active lifestyle or trying to exercise when you possibly can that, doesn't, cause any issues is really beneficial.
That is definite. If you can start exercise at an early age, it can help to prevent it. At an older age, it can help to slow the progression of the disease.
And, what are the typical age ranges of the individuals you encounter over there at the rehabilitation facility at OSF, what's the age range for osteoporosis normally?
Typically, we'll probably see it in ages probably maybe 50 and up. Usually at the age of 30, our bone growth starts to decrease, and the bone deterioration is faster than the bone growth. So at that point, later on down the road, as we get older, that just accelerates.
Well, and what does it kind of look like when you first go in and you get the diagnosis that, hey, this is what we have to deal with? What does that initial care plan look like?
Well, it's basically, oftentimes there's not any symptoms.
Okay.
So you may have a little bit of back pain, but a lot of times it's more the testing that the doctor has done.
Really? Mm-hmm. I can see that being a really frustrating part of this. If somebody is kind of thinking something's off, or maybe they don't understand what's going on. How long does it typically take for an individual to get that test done? Is it just one of those things where you decide to do it, or are they planned?
It's a pretty common test, a DEXA scan of the bones, and it's often when women get to a certain age, probably about 50, the doctors will order that just as a ability to kind of see if osteoporosis or osteopenia is coming around.
What's the difference between the two?
Osteopenia is just the precursor to osteoporosis. It's really just in the values of the testing that's done. It's the beginning of the process, but it's not gotten to the point where the bones are as brittle later in osteoporosis.
Are there any other ailments that can coincide with osteoporosis? Whenever you is there any secondary ailment that you normally see?
Well, probably the most common thing is it can make people more prone to fall, and when they fall, they break a bone.
Wow. Well, and when someone's working on their exercise and they're trying to, kind of combat this, what should the goal be of somebody that has osteoporosis when it comes to exercise?
Everybody's goal will be a little different depending upon their lifestyle, their level of exercise up to that date. However, the main goals are to probably improve your posture, because with osteoporosis, you tend to develop a forward bend posture, prevent falls, improve your muscle flexibility, and as well as your joint flexibility and your strength.
When we're exercising and someone does have this, how can you exercise, safely as you possibly can? Because I can only imagine if you're going through this and your bones are, becoming brittle,
yes.
It's got to be a little bit more tough to make sure that this can be done.
Definitely. A lot of times it's best to try to start, as any exercise program, very gradual. Get your physician's approval, but then, start with your lower reps, lower time. If you can build up to doing some weight with your exercises, just start out very small. You want to avoid doing a lot of twisting or bending exercises where that could cause an extra stress on the spine and possibly cause a compression fracture.
How important is it and this is just something I'm thinking about now, because, whenever you have this, I could only imagine that any little bit of a fall is something to be really worrisome about and to be mindful of. Is there some lifestyle changes that kind of coincide with that too? Maybe it's, I'm not saying you're bound to your couch, but is it, kind of slowing down a little bit more, maybe finding, more, better shoes or any of those good things too?
Well, that is true, yeah. A good pair of shoes to make you stable, something that's loose and flips around will make you more prone to fall. You want to avoid contact sports. You don't want to do anything too aggressive where you would be likely to be pushed over and or have a fall.
Well, and whenever, so going back to the exercise point, just activity in general, what should someone with osteoporosis avoid when they're exercising?
Well, you don't want to use, depending upon the level of osteoporosis, weights can be beneficial if you're in the early stages where the bones aren't too brittle. But if the bones are getting more brittle as you get progression, the weights will maybe cause a too much pressure on the bones. So you want to maybe avoid the weights.
Wow.
And then any contact sports.
What are some of the different levels of osteoporosis?
Well, you can start out with just like the osteopenia. That's, you don't really have any symptoms. It's the testing that shows that your bones are starting to get weaker. And then it just kind of progresses on. A lot of times people will start to develop, like I said before, that bent posture where you'll see an extra curvature. They can't hold their head up as high.
Very interesting. And, how common is osteoporosis just from what you guys encounter and see at OSF in the rehabilitation?
We don't see it a huge amount.
Okay.
I think a lot of physicians probably give their patients instructions to kind of help manage it on their own. But I would say for women, especially white and Asian ethnicities, it's more common in them. And then women with smaller bone frames, because they don't have as much bone mass to start with, and so as it starts to deteriorate, there's more evidence of that.
Is there anything we can do with our eating styles or our lifestyles that can help this, or is it genetic?
There is a little bit of genetics in there. However, lifestyle can play a big part, and even if it is genetic, helping to kind of, like I said, maybe decrease the chance of it or decrease the or lessen the effects of it, the severity.
Do you have a moment to take a quick break with me?
I do.
It's 9:25, and we're talking all things really with OSF's Rehabilitation Services and Frances Young, their director. It's National Women's Health Week, and really just to have this conversation on osteoporosis and coming back and learning ways that we can keep, honestly moving forward with this. And that's a good thing too, is if someone has us out there, maybe we're giving them some tips and some tricks on how to give them the best step forward each and every day. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back with more Daily Show on this Wednesday morning next.
Carden Circus is coming to town. It's fun for the whole family. Don't miss out. Get ready for breathtaking aerial stunts and a heart-pounding thrill ride that will have you on the edge of your seat. 2 nights only. See the magic in Jerseyville on May 27th and Highland on May 29th. Bring the whole family and experience the wonder of Carden Circus. Get your tickets now at glowcircus.com.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I was headed out toward the door. Won't you give me 3 steps, give me 3 steps, mister, give me 3 steps towards the door. Give me 3 steps, give me 3 steps, mister, and you never see a thing over.
Welcome back. 9:30 on the nose. A little bit of change on this Wednesday morning. I have to say change because I don't have seconds. I can't say it's like 9:30 and 14 seconds. So we just go with change, you know. Back with good. Francis Young, the director of OSF Rehabilitation Services in Alton. They're right there at Alton Square Mall. And, you know, as we're getting back to this conversation about osteoporosis and just ways that we can manage this, you know, I'm sure balance comes into a big part of this, especially because I think that so many of us as younger people don't realize that maybe our balance and our agility and our flexibility isn't nearly where it should be. And I'm sure that plays a factor as we get older.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Those things just, as we get older, they're not as good as they used to be.
Well, and how do we kind of specifically balance, you know, exercises to, you know, to help, you know, people with osteoporosis?
Well, but due to the fact of falling causes fractures and falling as a result of osteoporosis, balance activities will help to decrease the chance of someone falling, thus decrease the chance of a fracture.
What are some things that we can do at home that can kind of work on balance?
Definitely. That's a good question.
I only ask one in an interview.
Well, we can work on mostly standing activities, trying to stand with your feet together, eventually progressing to standing one foot in front of the other, standing on one leg, walking a straight line, those kind of activities, sidestepping, walking backwards. Those all kind of challenge us. And then also just trying to walk on different types of terrain so that you get used to something maybe that's not smooth, but something uneven, maybe like a gravel driveway.
Now, if someone's having some, you know, issues with the different terrains, is it okay to start with, you know, some type of, you know, device to assist you, whether it's like a cane or a walker or something like that?
Definitely. And you wouldn't want to, if you have a higher chance of falling, you wouldn't want to do those higher level activities.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Maybe have someone with you, whether it be a therapist, a family member, an athletic trainer.
And I think sometimes we just forget that we can do things in our own home too. You know, when it comes to exercise.
Oh, so much.
Especially during a commercial. Well, now we don't have commercials too much anymore with streaming, but you know, take a pause and
definitely
during the credits.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Well, and is there any movements that someone with osteoporosis should start to avoid as it starts to progress, or any type of ways that we normally move our body when we're younger? Or is it one of those things we shouldn't change up too much of how we, you know, move and every day?
So as the disease progresses, the spine is often the most affected. There's a high chance for compression fractures, and compression fractures can result from a lot of either bending activities or lifting in a bent position or twisting activities. It can even happen someone's pushing up a window that's not moving real smoothly, that pressure can then cause a compression fracture. So those types of activities would be best to avoid.
Really interesting. And, you know, we were talking, and you don't really encounter too much of the osteoporosis patients, you know, at the rehabilitation, because the primary care provider sets up that care plan. And I would only imagine, because, you know, someone like me might go, well, I'm going to go reach out to maybe look online for, you know, some personal trainer or something. But to me, a primary care provider would be the best way forward to really have a true and safe and really knowledge, you know, care plan.
Yeah, and I think they can give you a general direction, and if you need more information or want more details, as you said, an athletic trainer is often good, one that knows about osteoporosis, as well as, or you can always ask your provider for a physical therapy referral.
That's interesting. Well, and, you know, whenever you're where you're talking with patients, and I don't know if this conversation comes up with osteoporosis, is it one of those things that I could only imagine gets frustrating as time goes on, because you're doing all that you can and you're still, I'm sure, going through the trials and tribulations of what could progressively get worse?
Sure, it's that balance between being able to do what you like to do, your normal activity, and being careful not to fall, not to cause injury to yourself.
Well, and is there anything that like family members can do that maybe aren't abrasive? Because, you know, the moment that we start interrupting someone's daily lifestyle, my grandma that don't make me an invalid, CJ, you know, or don't do this, I want to do it all on my own.
Yes.
Is there anything that we can do, though, like especially if there's an older adult that has osteoporosis and maybe or mobility issues in general, where we're not being the big brother or we aren't being the helicopter guardian, but we're just, kind of taking care of things along the way to make it a little easier.
Certainly. So one thing that probably avoid is being on a ladder. So if there's things that need to be done around the house that would involve a ladder, those type of activities would be best done by someone else. Carrying heavy things, obviously, that would be better if someone had some help with that as well.
Before I let you go, I was wondering to know, too, is there any stretches that you can tell us about, too, that we can work on at home, too, or just to help with some of that, mobility and the agility side of things?
Certainly. So as I mentioned before, the bent forward posture is oftentimes what results because of osteoporosis. So activities where you try to improve your straightness of your back, laying on your stomach is just a great one, or then laying on your stomach and a little bit of rest, propping up on your elbows can be helpful too, or just standing and bending backwards.
Really interesting. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. And is there anything about the rehabilitation facility that you want us to fill our audience in on today?
Oh, certainly. We're located at the Alton Mall, and we have all types of therapy, physical, occupational, speech therapy, and we see all kinds of diagnoses in addition to osteoporosis, orthopedic injuries, neurological injuries, concussions. We see children, lots of things. Pretty much if it needs therapy, we can take care of it.
Well, I can only imagine how quiet that office is. Well, and seriously, thanks for all that you do. And I know that you guys have a great staff over there and have heard nothing but great things. And I'd love to have you back on to talk about more ways that we can keep ourselves healthy.
I would be glad to come back. Thank you, CJ.
9:36, a little bit of change on this Wednesday morning. We'll come back. It's the 14th day of May. More Daily Show hits you right in the nose on Roku TV and RiverBender.com. Next.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Carden Circus is coming to town. It's fun for the whole family. Don't miss out. Get ready for breathtaking aerial stunts and a heart-pounding thrill ride that will have you on the edge of your seat. 2 nights only. See the magic in Jerseyville on May 27th and Highland on May 29th. Bring the whole family and experience the wonder of Carden Circus. Get your tickets now at glowcircus.com.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
10:27, welcome back. Daily Show on a Monday. In with Allison. Wreckfest is this Saturday. Wow, moving quick.
Yes, yeah, it's coming up already.
So fill me in. This is a huge event for you guys, and so many people are contributing to this and come out and be a part of it.
Yeah.
Good turnouts. Life's looking good.
Yeah, it's become got legs and became our largest event of the year. I don't know that was necessarily the idea when we launched it, but we do have over 30 partners coming out, and the idea is just to kick off the warmer season, the recreation season, and teach people the different ways we can recreate along the river in the Riverbend area and how to do it safely.
There you go. Well, and with that being said too, what are some of the favorite things that you like about the event?
Oh, geez. There's just so many varied activities. So it turns out that there was really a need for this in the area. So when we pitched the idea of, hey, come out and teach our community how to recreate in the way that you know how, your expertise, everyone came out in droves, whether it was private business or local government. So we've got rock climbing, so Upper Limits will have their rock climbing gym there. We have like inflatable archery. You can learn how to properly fit your helmet for biking, where biking trails are, how to be prepared for adverse weather when you're hiking, how to backpack properly. Organizations that I wouldn't even necessarily think about in terms of outdoor recreation are coming out. So we've got I think their name is Operation Lifesaver, and they talk about being safe around train tracks. So as people are walking and biking more often when it's warmer, that's when accidents with trains happen. So they come out and talk about that. Like,
Gotcha.
There's just such a diverse array of how to be outside that we've gotten just so much interest.
Well, and too, I mean, it's one of those where you're set up at a perfect spot for it to really take in all the sights and sounds of it. And, to have archery and all these animal presentations is really cool for everybody.
Yeah, we have live animal shows at, 10, 11, 12:30, and 2. We have live animal presentations, but then some of the partners that are coming out will have live animals too. So we have the Herpetological Society. They have live animals there. Wow. I believe we're going to have a horse there this year. That's new. There's just more every single year.
Well, and now, take me through the animal guy too, because he's a pretty good show.
He is a good show, yeah. So the idea is learning how to engage with wildlife while you're out recreating, and how to be respectful of wildlife and share the space with wildlife. But he also brings out some of those really cool animals. Like last year, I held a Gila monster, which was incredible. They're one of my faves. I've never held one before.
That's cool.
That was really cool. Yeah, so he'll bring some of the more exotic stuff as well.
I love it. And plus you can catch Fredbird and correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Fredbird?
So last year we did a little, we had enough people that were bringing their mascot that we decided that we would do this little mascot parade for the younger visitors. Mm-hmm. So we had a couple of different mascots that paraded around, and the kids loved it. So we decided we would do it again, and we have over double the number of mascots this year. Everyone just has bought into this idea. So we have at noon, we'll have Fredbird. Mm-hmm. We will have Smokey the Bear. We have Bobber the Water Safety Dog. We've got Eddie the Cougar from SIUE, Lizzie and Izzy from the Gateway Grizzlies, Blazer from Lewis and Clark Community College.
That's awesome.
It's going to be so much fun.
I love this. And then plus those that visit all these 10 stations get some really cool gifts too.
Yeah, so when you first get there, you're going to want to check in at the welcome tent. You get a little passport. And for all the kiddos that visit at least 10 of the educational stations, they will get a goodie bag of just different swag, water safety supplies. But then the first 200 will get either a Alton River Dragons baseball ticket or a Gateway Grizzlies baseball ticket.
That's really cool. And then you're also going to have Kids to a Park Day event.
Yeah, so
what's that mean?
Nationwide, all the different agencies. So there's this initiative in May called National Kids to Parks Day. So anytime within that week to 2 week window around that day, you can register your event nationally with the so it's called the America the Beautiful Pass. A lot of people are familiar with the Park Pass. You can get them at our location where you purchase a pass and you can go to all the different national parks for the year, and that covers your entrance fee. So the Every Kid Outdoors initiative gives free passes to 4th grade students if they engage in some sort of outdoor activity or learning activity. So if you'll get these free prize bags. The first 200 will get these baseball tickets. And then also, if you have a 4th grader in your group, you will get a free America the Beautiful Pass, which gets you and your entire family into all the parks. And we are a nationally recognized Kids to Parks event.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on with it. How long does it take to set this one up?
A lot. We will be starting here in a couple of days with some preliminary setting up of different things. We get there usually at like 6 a.m. and just start hauling out tables. Lewis and Clark Community College is actually providing a whole group of volunteers this year, so we're actually sitting pretty good. We're gonna have like a whole crew that's just going to help us this year. So
that's awesome.
But each year it gets bigger, but each year we have another year under our belt, so it's copy and paste, and we get more efficient and quicker at it.
Now, the Alton Fire Department and police are going to have their cars there for Touch a Truck too?
Touch a Truck, yeah. So we'll have they bring different stuff each year. Sometimes it's just a squad car. Sometimes they have their SWAT vehicle, just whatever is available. They'll have their trucks there. We also have, I think, Sunbelt Rentals is going to have their like boom out there.
Oh, wow.
And do a little activity with hand-eye coordination type of thing.
That's cool. That's actually really cool.
Sometimes Alton PD brings out their canine too. So we'll also have Illinois State Police there. They have a little demonstration that they do to talk about, in addition to when things get warmer, we're outside more often, but we're also out with our friends more often, which can lead to drinking and driving. So they talk about texting and driving, drinking and driving, and some safer alternatives.
Well, it's no different than being on the water. When you go out boating and all that and have fun, you just got to be careful too.
Yeah, so we do a lot of water safety initiatives year round, but we go really heavy with this event too because people forget that. People grab beers while they're fishing, and it is accidents happen. So we want to make sure everybody knows how to be outside safe.
How do you guys react when something like that happens, where if you have someone that falls into the river or anything like that? I know it's not on topic, but is there like a safety protocol that you guys have to do, or is that through you, or what's that look like?
the river is, our jurisdiction is within 500 feet of the lock and dam.
Gotcha.
Then it becomes Coast Guard.
Gotcha.
But that doesn't mean that if we're not there, and whoever is the first, we all have radios. So it's Coast Guard jurisdiction, but Alton PD or Alton Fire Department has a boat. They get called. It's kind of just whoever can get there first type of thing. But that's usually not. We're not usually the first phone call. Usually by the time we get our boat to the boat ramp, somebody else has gotten there. Yeah.
Really interesting though. Huh. Never realized how that worked.
Yeah.
It's one of the more important parts of your guys' job too, is the safety.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, we are a rivers project, but the other 5 projects within the St. Louis district are lake projects.
Gotcha.
So they are out on the water. They are going to be the first responders in that situation.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Well, and now getting back into the event, how old do you have to be for the rock wall?
I don't think there's an age limit.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they just kind of strap you in and let you go. If you're brave, if you're old enough to be brave to climb up that wall, I think they've got a way to have you do that safely.
Really cool. And now this archery, is it just going to be kind of come as you go? Is there a certain time for it?
No, it's just kind of come as you go. And we've got a couple different options. So we've got St. Charles Parks and Rec and National Park Service helping out with our traditional archery ranges. And then we also have another organization that's coming with inflatable archery as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that like a 3D archery, or is that what they call that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This will be fun. Hey,
it'll be a lot of fun.
We'll take a quick break and we'll come back, chat a little bit more about RecFest and keep this Monday morning moving right after this on RiverBender.com.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.com. osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Cardin Circus is coming to town. It's fun for the whole family. Don't miss out. Get ready for breathtaking aerial stunts and a heart-pounding thrill ride that will have you on the edge of your seat. 2 nights only. See the magic in Jerseyville on May 27th and Highland on May 29th. Bring the whole family and experience the wonder of Cardin Circus. Get your tickets now at glowcircus.com.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car. I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. My fault. 10:40 on the nose. Back with Allison. So when you guys are getting this together, how many different organizations? You have 30, but like when you're putting the event on, is it just you guys that structure it, or is it a couple of different groups that are working together?
This one's just us. So there's a lot of different events that we partner. Like you might have me back when talking about the fishing fair coming in June, and that's a collaborative effort between different agencies. This one is just us, and how it started was, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. We have a huge water safety initiative to make sure that we are reducing mortalities and injuries on the water. And I mentioned earlier the other projects in the St. Louis district have these lakes. So there's beaches, there's boating, there's fishing, there's all this opportunity to engage with people in how to properly wear your life jacket and be safe. And we just don't have those numbers. Yeah. We don't have this audience just ready there at the beach. So we wanted to come up with a creative way to get our water safety message out there. So we decided to have this safety fair called Rec Fest, Recreation, Exploration, Conservation, and just kick off the warmer weather with here's how to be safe. And we'll do life jacket demonstrations, and other organizations can talk about their safety needs and the ways they recreate. And it just absolutely took off. So for as large of an event as it is just us.
Well, and it's really cool though, because the more that you can familiarize younger children with, just water in general and different areas, and whether it's a lake or river or somebody's pond, right. It's important to know, or even a creek bed. How do you manage that safely?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we don't think about how often we do encounter water. There's a creek in my backyard that, is become a bit incised, and so it's gotten deeper, and if my kiddo falls in there, it's going to be a lot harder for her to crawl back out than it would have been maybe 10 years ago when it wasn't so deep. Those things are just important to be. If you've been exposed to it, maybe you're thinking about it and taking a second thought of how am I going to be safe when I do this.
Well, even, kids walking on the creek bed, walking on those rocks covered with algae and all the film on it. How do you cross them safely, and how do you make sure you aren't cracking your head open?
Exactly.
That's so important.
Yeah.
So when it comes to this, it's rain or shine, isn't it, for this?
It is rain or shine. So our first year that we had it ended up being the worst storm of the year.
Yep.
So we moved everything inside that we could. Obviously, we can't move the fire trucks and stuff inside, but we moved everything inside that we could. But aside from an absolute torrential storm, part of recreating outside is dealing with the weather.
Right.
But it looks like it'll be amazing weather this weekend, so that's what we're hoping for. The last couple of years, we were able to be outside, even if it sprinkled a little bit. And each year, we've seen more and more partners and tables and more visitors. So we're just hoping another year in that direction.
That's really cool. And now, again, tours of the Lock and Dam.
Always tours of Lock and Dam. We can't have an event without incorporating tours of Lock and Dam. People love coming out to see Mel Price and hear about the navigation and see the barges. So when we have these large events, we try to just keep pumping out the tours because we have so many people. So we'll have volunteers that are going to be giving tours every 20 minutes. Tours are about 45 minutes.
Okay.
So we're just going to keep rotating out tours. There's also some other stuff inside. Most of it's going to be outside, but we have face painting will be inside. We moved that one inside because it's hard to paint on people when it's so hot outside sometimes. So we have face painting inside, and then the Nature Institute has this blow-up planetarium. If you've not done it before, I took my kid. It's so cool.
Is it really? I've heard a lot of good things.
It's like this big igloo that you crawl in, and then on the ceiling, there's all these constellations, and they teach you how to identify different stars in the night sky, which is also a type of recreation if you're outside at night.
Right.
And those are 10-minute presentations, and they'll run throughout the day every 20 minutes.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, and now, with that being said, ADA for tours, is it ADA compliant?
Yeah, so Melvin Price Locks and Dam was built with the public in mind, knowing that we would be using it for educational purposes. So there is an elevator, and it is a and stroller accessible.
Really cool. That's awesome. And now, Damn It Joe's is going to be there as well.
Yeah, so there's so much to do. It's gonna, like, a lot of times families come, and if you want to do a Lock and Dam tour, a planetarium show, you want your kid wants their face painted, you gotta hit the 10 stations to get your baseball tickets. Sometimes people want to spend the day, and so we want to make sure that people have lunch options. So we do have Damn It Joe's, we have Kona Ice, so there will be lunch options. We have snacks that we sell in our gift shop as well.
I didn't know that. That's good. Mm-hmm. Really cool. And then if you're just tuning in, those animal shows will be at 11, 12:30, and 2 inside the museum's theater. And then the parade of mascots at noon.
The parade at noon. Planetarium shows every 20 minutes. Lock and Dam shows every 20 minutes. The parade at noon. Animal shows. There's something at any time that you show up. We're going to have something for you
going on. Yep.
Pretty soon thereafter. So it runs 10 to 3. So come and spend the day with us.
Well, and to get that, the final recreation benefit is that 4th grade student who attends can receive that Free America the Beautiful Pass, granting you and your family free admission to the national parks this summer, which is a huge thing to go do.
It's an $80 value. Yeah. So
that's massive. When you said that, I'm like, that's really cool.
Yes. Yeah. So we have a whole initiative we do all year round called Every Kid Outdoors, where we try to get these passes into as many 4th grade hands as we can. And if your 4th grader didn't get one this school year, here's your chance to come out with your family. Yeah.
Now, what else is coming down the pipeline this next couple of months? Because this is busy season for you.
It is a busy season. So you'll see us at the Memorial Day Parade. We'll start kicking off our summer camps, and we'll be partnering with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the Illinois Department of Natural Resources to host the fishing fair Saturday, June 7th. So we have the largest safety fair that we're doing this Saturday, and then we'll do the largest fishing fair in the first Saturday in June. So we've got large regional events coming down the pipe. Yeah.
I love it. Hey, if you're just tuning in, you guys can be a part of RecFest. It's coming down the pipeline this Saturday, May the 17th, from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the National Great Rivers Museum. There'll be live animal shows, archery and bullseyes. Aim for a bullseye. I read that. Yep. I was reading the line.
Aim for the bullseye, yes.
Mascot, and you can climb a rock wall too, and then the planetarium's going to be awesome.
Yeah, there's no shortage of things. You could spend every minute of 10 to 3 doing something, or just come and spend an hour, whatever works for your family. But it really is something that's going to be great for all ages.
Really is. And I can't wait to see you at the Two Rivers Fishing Fair too.
Yeah, we've got you there.
We'll be there, and we'll take a quick break, Allison. I hope this weekend goes well for you, and we'll chat again soon.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
We'll come back and wrap up Monday morning right after this on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
10:03. Welcome back. Daily Show on a Wednesday morning continues here with top of the hour news. Make sure you download that updated RiverBender.com app. Mike has it looking really good. Great 10 o'clock hour waits us here in a couple of minutes. About 10:30 actually. We're going to be talking to a couple of the track athletes from Evangelical for the first time in their school's history. They're sending 2 to state, so we're going to get the latest on that and hear about their journey as they head up to state in just a couple of days. We'll take you to top of the hour news now. Here's what you need to know. Alton High School has accepted the resignation of Desiree Howard as head coach of the girls basketball team, concluding her impactful 6-year tenure. Howard finished with an impressive record of 123 wins and 51 losses, leading the Lady Redbirds to 3 IHSA regional titles, 2 sectional titles, and a third-place state finish. In 2025, the team consistently surpassed 30 wins in each of the last 3 seasons and claimed multiple in-season tournament championships. Athletic Director Chris Kacernik thanked Howard for elevating the program's success and announced plans to hire a new coach before the end of summer to continue building on the Lady Redbirds' legacy. And also in the news today, a benefit to support Wade Gibson, a beloved hairstylist, community leader, business owner battling pancreatic cancer, will take place on May the 17th at the Pavilion in Campsville. It's been organized by friends, family, and local businesses. The event aims to raise funds for Wade's medical care. James Palmer, Wade's husband and business partner, expressed deep gratitude for the overwhelming community support. The event will feature live music, food, raffles, and both virtual and in-person silent auctions. Donations and auction items are still being accepted. For contributions, you can contact Brittany at 618-917-2578, or you can visit Papa Toodles in Godfrey. We will also have a conversation on tomorrow's show about the benefit as well for more details too. Illinois House Bill 1237, which aimed to ban school mascots and imagery referencing Native American tribes, did not advance in the Illinois Senate after missing a procedural deadline on May 9th. The bill sought to prohibit names and symbols such as braves, chiefs, and feathered headdresses in schools like Collinsville and Granite City High Schools locally. State Senator Harris expressed relief, calling it a win for schools resisting unfunded mandates. Community members, including Collinsville High Athletic Director Clay Smith, emphasized the mascot's importance in preserving local pride and tradition. With the bill stalled, the 2 school mascots remain part of their communities, and we'll keep you updated if more details do emerge on that. Also in the news today, Volunteers in St. Louis are coming together to honor Corporal Frederick Carino, an 18-year-old U.S. Army soldier who was killed in action during the Korean War 75 years ago. Carino, initially buried as an unknown soldier, was identified last year through the efforts of the Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency. The flagman's mission continues as organizing a memorial of 600 flags outside of Shepherd Funeral Chapel on May 14th to pay tribute before his funeral services on May 15th, and a burial with full military honors will take place on the 16th of May. Community members of all ages are encouraged to volunteer, helping to celebrate Carino's sacrifice to our country and bring closure to his family and hometown. That's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend this Wednesday morning. Let's take a look at weather. It's 74 degrees out there and it feels like 82. Humidity's at 80%. Today, sunny to partly cloudy, very warm and humid today. And tonight, they're calling for chances of showers and maybe even a thunderstorm now. Otherwise, it'd be partly cloudy, warm, and humid. Air quality at 49, which is good. Grass is moderate. Mold is low. Ragweed's moderate, and so are the tree pollen levels, too. The UV index is high, so if you need a tan, go stop out and grab one. Hey, temperatures reach 83 degrees today and drop down to 67 as we're heading into Thursday. We might have some rain Wednesday evening. Thursday morning, we can expect showers, thunderstorms, and then that rain tapers off as the evening progresses into Friday from now, but that forecast keeps changing. On Friday, breezy and very warm with periods of sun. Gusty thunderstorm in the afternoon, and those thunderstorms could bring some flooding downpours on Friday. Hail and damaging wind gusts. Friday night is going to be clear. Heading into Saturday and Sunday, now they're calling for identical days. On Saturday and Sunday, both partly sunny skies, highs of 75 and lows of 56 degrees both days as we head into the 19th day of May. That's Monday, but we'll get there when Monday comes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's a look at weather. Here's what's happening now. 74 degrees in downtown Alton. It's 10:07. For up-to-date weather information, you can download the RiverBender.com app today in your Apple or Google Play Store, or just text the capital letters RB to 618-202-4618. That's RB to 618-202-4618. You can sign up for instant weather updates, instant breaking news alerts, and you'll never miss out. Of course, you can always call the area landmark phone number, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back, Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. Hey, before we take a quick break, let me fill you in on Hainer Library. You know, that summer reading program's just right around the corner, and I think that's so great, all the work that's being done by the staff and really just all the effort that's gone into this summer reading program. A lot of fun stuff. And, you know, for the next couple of weeks, your teenager or your child can have the opportunity to go have fun, get their hands on some really fun activities, and really learn so much as the summer continues. You know, at the summer reading program, it's right there on Hainer Library's website, and we just had this conversation with Megan and Mary. And Megan on the teenager side of things, the teen reading program, and then Mary on the kids reading program. And it's just amazing to see how all the team comes together to put together these great activities, and really just the community coming out and supporting it. You can find out that full list. There's so many dates to go through, and there's so many details to tell you about that it might just be better to tell you to go to Hainer Library's website at HainerLibrary.org. Click on the events tab, click on the calendar tab. You'll see that right there on the main page, and you can get all the details you need. It's a great program, and you can keep on learning all summer long at HainerLibrary.org. That's HainerLibrary.org. Oh, and get a library card. What are you doing here? I mean, how many times do I literally have to tell you? It's so simple. You just go to HainerLibrary.org or stop into the many locations they have. Click on the How Do I tab on the website. Click on the Get a Library Card. You put your address in. It's that simple, and Hainer just makes it easy at HainerLibrary.org. And don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with more Daily Show on this Wednesday morning. But first, a little check of downtown Alton. It's looking nice out there.
Cardin Circus is coming to town. It's fun for the whole family. Don't miss out. Get ready for breathtaking aerial stunts and a heart-pounding thrill ride that will have you on the edge of your seat. 2 nights only. See the magic in Jerseyville on May 27th and Highland on May 29th. Bring the whole family and experience the wonder of Carden Circus. Get your tickets now at glowcircus.com.
Oh no, another bad headache? Yeah. Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and it will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Oh, I'm late. Daily Show, 10:40. A little bit of change on this Wednesday morning. Tamara, sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right. I was like, wait, do I have the right day? Am I on the right day? Like, I'm always,
It's normally a CJ problem, How's everything going for you on this Wednesday?
Everything's great. The sun is out. Life is good.
And it's really just beautiful outside. I mean, this is a day to go get sick and play golf,
And have ice cream.
And of course have ice cream, 100%. I've been really excited to talk with you about clementines. And really, I was just on your website, and I love this Great Gatsby theme you all got going on right now.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been really fun.
Well, and now take me through, if you could, a little bit of Clementine's story a bit. And then, we have all these locations popping up. You're shipping nationwide, and life's looking great.
Yeah. I'm so blessed every day to be able to make people happy in all the wonderful neighborhoods that we serve. I've been making ice cream my whole life since I was a kid.
Wow.
And ice cream changed my life and gave me this incredible sense of community. And I never forgot that. And it was a tradition that we upheld in our household for many years that my mom did until she passed away. And then that's something I kind of took over, and it kind of just became my adult hobby and passion, right? And I ended up working in the food industry. And after 20 years of that, I kind of said, I don't want to do that anymore. Kind of want to take my life back into my own hands and go do something on my own. And that thing was to make ice cream for my neighborhood.
That's so, well, and see, that's what I think is so unique about this too, because especially, when people are talking about finding their passion, I think sometimes they get discouraged by what that specific passion or what that love or whatever it is could be. And, just like something like ice cream, that would make me nervous, a little bit, just to be honest with you. But with everything and, all the stories and that personal connection you have, did that propel you to you think, the success of Clementine's today?
Yeah, I think when you follow your authentic person, being, soul, desire, whatever that was, it it becomes easier, right? Because they say you never work another day in your life when you love what you do. And literally, I love making ice cream. I've loved making ice cream 10 years ago. We're about on our 10-year anniversary. I still love making ice cream and making people happier. I just get to do it at like a much bigger scale now because we have more parlors and we've been able to grow. But it gives my life this like really incredible purpose, right? It's not just about ice cream, it's purpose too.
Right. Well, and honestly, as you reflect on those 10 years too, that's what I find. Do you remember day one? Whenever you're I got to ask you, I know it's kind of one of those softball ones, but day one for 10 years for Clementines has got to be fascinating.
Yeah, I was thinking about the other day because May 17th will be our 10-year anniversary from opening our first parlor.
Wow.
And I was so scared that day. I was nervous. It was, I really believe that, if you build it, they will come, right? I was so passionate about what I was doing and it had to work because I put my whole heart and soul and savings and 401k and you name it, like into this. And so there was no fail. There was just going to be. But I was so excited. I was so exhausted and I was so excited. And I remember opening the door and there were people in line waiting. And I was just like, wow, like this is real. I'm following my dreams. Yeah, it was pretty magical. I just hope people will come because I tell people all the time, I would never recommend this today. But the day I opened my first parlor, I only had $29 left in my bank account.
No kidding. And see, that's what I find so fascinating because you said,
I was too dumb to know any better. I mean, like for being such a smart woman who ran a $70 million business before I jumped off the cliff to start my own company, I look back and go, boy, was I dumb. But you get there and you're in it and you do it.
Well, and see, that's where it's one of those where you can't fail. And like you said, you have to win. And that's where I think so many people get scared sometimes. And I know I want to talk about the 10 years and ways you're celebrating here too. But just this is so fascinating because, we have the Riverbend CEO group that I go and speak with, once a year with the students that want their own businesses. And the hang-up's always that fear of, what if? And, it's not really a what if, it's a have to. And I think that's the mindset that so many people need to have.
Well, and I say there is no try, there's just do.
Yeah.
Right? As Yoda would say. Very wise man. That you just, before I even opened my parlor, it was the holidays because my parlor didn't get open till May. And I needed revenue and I went to all the people that I knew that were having fancy Christmas parties that lived in the big houses in my neighborhood. And I said, I will bring all the ice cream for your Christmas party if you just let me put out a sign-up sheet where people could order pints for me and that I could then sell them and deliver it. So literally I went door to door to all the big houses and I said, hi, my name is Tamara Keeve. I'm going to open an ice cream parlor in the neighborhood. This is what I want to do, but I've got to make some revenue. And I was like that door-to-door salesperson, so to speak. I was like, if you let me come to your Christmas party and pitch and give free ice cream, like I would appreciate it. And like literally that's what you do. So in those moments, there is no fail. You just figure it out. You just get creative and you say, okay, how can I get the word out about my ice cream? How can I get more sales? Right? How do I get and you just do it. And so there is that ethic of, yeah, it's you have to.
Well,
you just have to.
And honestly, I think that's what resonates so much too, and why you've been able to keep these going. I mean, I know I drive by the Edwardsville location just, in our area, and it just seems like, so many people have started to call that place home. And I mean that in a way where you're right. Ice cream has a unique bond with folks, where it could be 40 years, but they're going back to that same ice cream stand that they were going with Grandpa,
Yeah. And I think, ice cream is the most emotional food product that there is.
For sure. You know how many times I have ugly cried with a bowl of I'll be honest, it's all good,
Well, or it's your first memory with family, or whatever that is. Like, there's this emotion tied into ice cream for people, and so it's beautiful, but it's also this like massive responsibility, right? Because we have to make sure that every time you come in and you have this amazing experience, you're creating amazing memories, just like I had growing up.
Well, and see, I think that's what's so special about the spot too, and all the parlors, because you really do get that sense when you walk in that you are trying to make it feel like it's a unique thing, because it's a public venue, but when you go in, you personalize it so much, with that kind of atmosphere that you feel like it's kind of just made for you, Yep,
absolutely, absolutely. We are definitely part of the communities that we serve, right? We're definitely a local business.
Well, and when you were first starting, what was your kind of goal when it came to that community connection and when it came to collaboration? Was that even on the focus yet? Was it just, when you're starting out, hey, let's just get this going and then let's connect, or was that always on the forefront of your mind?
Yeah, I think we've always been like super collaborative, and it was a way to get our name out, in groups and circles of people that I didn't have any recognition in. So collaboration was really key for me to get my ice cream in front of a lot of people. And then we just found that it was just a great way to do business, right? We love our collaborations. We love getting out there in the community. I think it makes the difference between we're not just an ice cream shop, we're really your neighborhood parlor, right? And so we really connect with our guests and our, our team, we call it the Clemon team. It just makes it such a difference.
Right. Well, and, as you're celebrating 10 years, what are you guys kind of reflecting on and looking to do to kind of mark the occasion? Because this is a big, big deal.
Yeah, no, we're excited. I mean, we have all kind of events happening. We're launching a vinyl record. These local bands. We had them write songs about ice cream, and so we're like the first ice cream company to like do a record. So that's really cool. We're launching the record. We're gonna have specials and promotions, all throughout the day and the week, and just so many different activities. Every day, it feels like for the month.
Well, and how can the public and community kind of celebrate with you? I saw the birthday cake flavor that was out on your Facebook.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's so delicious too. Oh my gosh. Self-admittedly, I wasn't always a fan of like birthday cake flavored ice creams because I don't think people have ever done them well. And so I really challenged my team.
That's so true. Not to cut you off, but I get so angry whenever it's a birthday cake flavor. It's like, why am I doing this to myself?
I know. And so I told the team, I said, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. And we're going to make an amazing birthday cake flavor ice cream. And the team did it. They have knocked it out of the park. It is so delicious. It's really good. But if you follow us on our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, go to our website. It's easy to connect with us in so many different ways. And come to the parlors. Come try all the new flavors. Come try that birthday cake flavor. It's really, really delicious.
Well, I have a couple of more questions for you, Tamara. And this is one I know you've been asked like hundreds of times, and I just have to get this out for me personally. So the classical music, was that something with the cows? I got to ask you, like, how did that come to be? Was that something that the farm does that you guys just kind of thought, what a great idea, and this is who we want to partner with? Or just take me through that kind of aspect of this alone, because I love it.
Yeah, no. So it's actually a great story. So I really wanted to get to know who some of our dairy farmers were, because we work with a local co-op in Illinois.
Okay.
And I wanted to go spend a weekend at one of the dairy farms, and I wanted to get put to work, and I wanted to see what it was like. They say, oh, they're grass, pasture raised and grass fed. And I wanted to find out, like, is it really? Or are you just telling me that to make me feel better, right? And charge me a premium. So I coordinated it, and I went out to one of our dairy farmers that we use, and I stayed the whole weekend. And I went to work, and I'm so glad to be on this side, because being a dairy farmer is hard work.
I wouldn't last. I wouldn't last.
No, I barely lasted for 4 days. And I'm not afraid to like get my hands dirty. But you know, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and busting your ass all day. So sorry. Can I say that?
You're fine. Yeah, no,
Okay,
I'll pass on. I'll pass on that too, though. I mean, that's why I host a talk show.
That's right. And so when I was first getting there and they were walking me around the farm, I said, "Oh, what's in this barn?" And they're like, "Oh, well, that's where all of our baby cows are kept." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "Can I see?" And so they took me in there, and literally they have classical music playing throughout this whole farm, and they are bottle feeding all these baby cows.
That is amazing. It's like a nursery, a for real nursery.
For real nursery. And I was like, "Well, why do you do that?" And they're like, "Well, because the first, year of a cow's life is super." It was no different than those early years of children and infants and toddlers of, how you don't want them to be stressed because they produce better milk and their bodies form better and all. And I was so impressed. I was like, okay, this is like the real deal. And, I do believe we have the best ice cream in the country because of how and where we source all of our milk and cream from these really small family dairy farmers who treat their they are all pasture raised and grass fed and not fed soy, any of that stuff. And they do roam, like literally, like I would take the cows out in the morning and you have to bring them back in at the end of the day. And you gotta they're really happy cows and you taste the difference, right?
Well, and
industrial dairies that don't, where their cows are raised in a pen and never exercise and never get out and never feed on grass. Like it's a different product.
100%. And it makes so much sense that you say that on the quality difference, no matter, what part of the animal you're utilizing, and it's great that, for this, it's taken care of from start to finish that really matches exactly what you guys have always been about. And before I let you go, I wanted to ask you about some of the specialty flavors right now and then some of the other stuff on the website. But, the last big question for you is, you have had national news recognition and you've been featured on a few different platforms. What's it mean for you? Is that kind of just almost like a spark, a fuse lighter, if you would, to kind of propel you for a little bit? Because it seems like regardless of if you had 1 million people watching you on the air on, CBS, or if you had nobody, watching you on YouTube videos, it seems like it wouldn't change for you.
No, I mean, anytime we get press and national press, it's great for our business because it's great for the city, right? It's great for our area that we're getting national recognition for doing something good and positive in the world. And that's really, really important. But it helps business too, because people will hear about us. They'll hear about us in Chicago. And then the next thing you know, we're in the parlors that weekend and they're like, "Oh, we saw you on national TV and we decided to take a road trip and come to St. Louis for the weekend. And, we wanted to try your ice cream, and what a fun thing to do." And so all those things really does help, right? It really does help when you tell all your family and friends that we have this amazing local ice cream. Our goal is to be the destination of choice in every city that we're in. Right. So I want you to say anytime anyone comes to Edwardsville, like, "Oh, the one place we have to take you is Clementine's," right? Because you're so proud that you have such a great little local ice cream spot that, is guaranteed that everyone will love.
Well, and right now, and Tamara, before I let you go, great conversation, by the way, and thank you so much for hanging out with me. Sorry for being a little late again. What
That's are right.
We know about Edwardsville and some of the St. Louis locations, but if you could you fill our audience in for all the different parlor locations, just in case they're tuning in from St. Charles or wherever they are in the Metro East today?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have our first location is in Lafayette Square. Our second location is in DeMun in Clayton. Our third location is in South City on Macklin. Our fourth location was Lake St. Louis. We also have Kirkwood. We have Central West End. We have Town and Country and our beloved Edwardsville.
I love it. Thank you so much, Tamara. And before I let you go, Great Gatsby themed, how do we get our hands on these? Because I saw it on your website and I just think it's the coolest thing ever.
You can order it on Goldbelly online. That could be shipped anywhere in the country if you want to send it to someone as a gift, or come into any of our parlors.
Really cool. And then one last question on your specialty menu items. What's the new one that you're kind of liking the most right now?
Definitely our birthday cake ice cream.
Is it? Okay, that's fair. Tamara, thanks so much for stopping by. You're welcome to join us and fill us in whenever you guys have something new coming down the pipeline. But happy 10-year anniversary, and thanks for all you're doing for the Metro East.
Thank you so much. Make it a delicious one.
See ya. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with more Daily Show. Wrap up this Wednesday right after this.
When I got in a car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to Daily Show on a Wednesday morning. 10:33 is the time, and for the first time ever, Evangelical sending some students on over to the state tournament for track. This is really cool.
Yeah.
And this was your first year as the coach?
Yeah. So I can't take much credit because this is my first year ever coaching track.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, first year out to school, first year coaching track. So I got to give a shout out to their coach of the past, Emily Dobson. She's really helped prepare these guys. She's over at Jerseyville now. So, but it's just so cool to kind of stumble into a situation where these kids are pretty much it. As a coach, I just got to sign them up for the events. They're dedicated. They're doing the stuff on their own to make sure that they get to that level. So it's been a blessing, man.
Really cool. Well, and let's just start this off. Oliver, Eliza, what events are we going to be competing in and winning state at?
100-meter hurdles and long jump.
I will be doing the shot put.
Really cool. I told you I couldn't do hurdles to save my life. Now that would be an event just to watch, you know. And now you guys are kind of you guys started a couple of years ago, correct? Mm-hmm. What's it been like just competing in track and field and doing this at Evangelical?
It started, I was really nervous to do like a lot, and I would just be there and I'd be really nervous. But after so long, it's gotten better, but it's still there.
Really cool.
My first year for 6th grade, I felt really, really nervous. I felt so unathletic. I felt like I should do better in the off season and try harder next year.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think it paid off.
yeah, for sure.
Well, and no, you were telling me at first because of the situation with trying to find a location to practice and all this, it was kind of tough to start the season off.
Yeah, so shout out to Coach Sasser and Mrs. Macias for really helping us. So at the beginning of the year, we didn't have a track to practice at because Evangelical, obviously, it's a small a small private school,
right?
So we don't have a track. So we started doing gym workouts. We started doing like what we could in the grass and stuff like that. And then we probably called every school within a 20-mile radius. And so, and they just, with their seasons, and rightfully so, they're like, hey, we just can't have anybody extra be on our tracks right now. And we couldn't, so the only way that I could get these guys to practice without me would be like, hey, you guys have to go to either West or you guys have to go to these tracks by yourself. And so that's not, obviously, as a coach, right, you want to be there to help train your kids and see how they're doing and stuff like that. And so we were very lucky to get Principia College to work with us. And so they only gave us an hour slot every Monday, but we really took advantage of that when we got there. And it's really an cool indoor track, so it's smaller, so it's a little bit, I'd say, more conditioning for the kids, just because they have to do more laps. And indoor track's a little bit harder when you're running the event you're running on an outdoor track. But yeah, that was super, super helpful. And then my goal, obviously, not being a track coach, was at the beginning of the year, I just sent an email out to all the middle school parents and said, hey, I'm not a track coach. Like, I'm not. I'm a football coach, but my goal would be to just make them better athletes. I don't think anybody being an athlete would care to be faster. You know what I mean?
Right.
Be faster, stronger, be able to move more. And so that's just kind of the vision that we went with. And I said, hey, I'm just going to make your kids better athletes. Now they're going to compete in track. How they do there, that'll teach them the competition aspect of it. But the aspect of like just being a better athlete, that really was something that a lot of kids and a lot of parents liked. So we had our track meet, sometimes we'd show up with 5 kids, sometimes we'd show up with 15, but we always the goal was, hey, let's be a better athlete and let's compete against ourselves more than anything.
Well, and that's really the biggest thing, because right now, especially with where we're at, in our age groups at middle school, like, you have a lot more opportunities to try new things and try different sports before you kind of commit in high school and all of that. So why not just become better athletes, and really to see the success of that? It's really cool.
Yeah.
What do your guys' practices look like? Just because I've never been in track and field, and I don't really know how this works.
You guys want me to get that one? All right. So a lot of research on my part, just not like, obviously, her doing hurdles in long jump and him doing shot put in long jump a little bit during the season. I had to adapt. I had to adapt. So I kind of grouped everybody into like, hey, you're sprinters. Sprinters go with Eliza, because I know she knows what she's doing. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
And she's going to be able to lead those guys. And then I spent a lot of times with the throwers and kind of the distance runners, because I'm like, hey, like, these are something. I did distance when I was in middle school. So I kind of was like, know how to pace, stuff like that. And then shot put, I'm a football coach, so we want our guys to throw stuff really far if possible. So I just kind of the power, the working on the power, working on the stuff. And then for Oliver, I feel bad for him, because it's like, I didn't teach him any technique. One day we went out at recess and he threw a shot put really far. He threw it farther than me, and I'm like, hey, if you're not doing track, you're going to do track. So we've really been working on him just to get his technique better. And literally, he won sectionals with not the greatest technique, but even yesterday, one of my football players in Collinsville came up and worked with him. He's a really good shot putter at Collinsville, just to kind of teach him little tips and tricks just to put it easier on his body. So yeah, it was really relying on them and my assistant coaches to be like, hey, I know we don't know a lot, but let's utilize the time that we have to try to get the best results that we can for our kids.
Well, and honestly, it seems like just the environment was really a good one to be a part of. And was that kind of the experience for you too, with how practices went? It seems like it was really a team effort all the way through.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like one person putting in effort and then everyone else being lazy. Like, everyone put in, like, contributed, so it wasn't like, oh, I have to go to practice. Like, it was like a fun thing that you had to go to.
No, did you think a couple of years ago that you'd be leading practices and all that?
I was the one who was like not knowing what I was doing, and it was just like, okay, what am I supposed to do?
Well, and Oliver, I got to know how you got into the shot put competition over here. Like, what led to it? Was there some trash talk going on in the classroom? Or
last year, I mean, I had a friend named Grady. He really helped me and made me lead more towards it. Like, I thought, well, I really like this, and I thought I would be really good at it. And then next year, I was like, I got better. So now I've been I've been trying to get a practice with him because, I mean, he's the start of it because our other coach, besides Rulo, she didn't really teach us any throwing technique. It was only him.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So he helped me out a lot.
That's really cool. You guys got a moment to stick around for a quick break?
Heck yeah.
10:40, we'll come back with more Daily Show right after this. You stay there. I'll stay here on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Cardin Circus is coming to town. It's fun for the whole family. Don't miss out. Get ready for breathtaking aerial stunts and a heart-pounding thrill ride that will have you on the edge of your seat. 2 nights only. See the magic in Jerseyville on May 27th and Highland on May 29th. Bring the whole family and experience the wonder of Cardin Circus. Get your tickets now at glowcircus.com.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show, 1043. And, well, I don't think I could be in track at Evangelical. That is a lot of track meets.
Yeah.
We were just talking. You guys had 22 scheduled?
I think it was 22 scheduled. I have to recount. Some of them got canceled because of the rain. So I think that's why it was so heavy schedule, just because it's...
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's so unpredictable, you know. But we ended up running about 18 of them. And so, and the unique thing about Evangelical is like... We're still a private school, but we're now state certified, so we can run against the public schools, but we also stick to some of those private school meets, and so they both look differently. So these guys would say they love the IESA meets more just because it's more spaced out, and Oliver doesn't have to throw against 8th graders being in 7th grade. But I have 5th and 6th graders, too, that are middle school track, and so those private school meets, they just have a 5th and 6th grade division. So I try to schedule to where, like, if we had an IESA meet and a private school meet back to back, I would be like, hey, these guys, like 7th and 8th grade, you guys have the day off on that day. You guys are going to run out the IESA meets, because when we're going to sectionals, that's who they're competing against.
Well, and it's a really good opportunity to think about this, because at Evangelical, you could go one or two ways 9 times out of 10, Marquette or Alton High. So you got to get used to both types of events too.
Yeah. And so the bad thing is, like in the private school meets, which I think they've been in for pretty much the entire since track has been a thing, is I think they have like their own private little sectional, but you never can really go to state. And
Makes
so
sense.
somebody like Eliza, who had state qualifying times last year, she missed out on that opportunity because we weren't state certified yet,
Right.
And so it kind of, I'm really happy we pushed to get state certified and ended up getting there. And yes, I think it is a little bit more like testing for the coaches, but who doesn't want to know stuff about concussion, CPR, stuff like that?
Well,
like
it's
that's
things you need to
information.
know.
Yeah, it's good stuff you need to know. But it really benefits them, because now they're not just competing against small school teams. We're 1A, but we're still got to go up and compete against teams from Chicago, teams from Peoria, teams from all those suburbs up there. So it's like these guys, and it's not like we just barely made it. Like, I think Eliza's ranked in the top 4 in hurdles, and
That's awesome.
Yeah, and Oliver's ranked in the top 7 in shot put. So it's
you guys are bringing home some medals this weekend. That's what I'm hearing. Well, it's really cool though, because it gives Evangelical even more of an advantage, because when you know that state certification and knowing that you're competing against the same schools and you get that great education, that great environment. I mean, that's really a big benefit.
Yeah, and Alton High's like our pipeline school for the most part. Like, there's a couple kids that go to Marquette.
Is it really?
But I think the majority, at least this year, 8th grade, the majority of kids are going to Alton High.
Really interesting.
So if we're not preparing them for that, I mean, that's the big, like, they're in the big school conferences. They're playing Collinsville, Edwardsville, all the Bellevilles and stuff like that. So if we're not letting them compete against bigger schools, then we're kind of hurting our kids in the aspect of they're not prepared for athletics and that aspect.
Right, for sure.
It. Yeah.
I got to ask you guys this. Do you have any special pre-run or pre-event ceremonies? Do you have the ritual where you have to tie your left shoe first or your right shoe first or anything like that?
No, only for volleyball.
Only for
not track. I just pray and hope I do good.
That's really cool.
I'll listen to music sometimes.
Do you have a certain playlist?
No, not really.
He's a notorious B.I.G. guy.
Really? Wow, good for you. I'm actually proud of you, man. That's good. I want you to win even more now. Take me through your experience though with track. What's it been like for you two, seriously, the last couple of years to be a part of the team and watch it grow?
I feel like it's been a long way. It's also been pretty hard. I think the hardest part is the technique. The technique is so hard to learn.
I'm sure, yeah.
Like yesterday we had Rulo's, one of his football players, and he's really good at shot put. He was showing me this technique, and it was pretty hard because I've never done it before, and we obviously don't really have a throwing coach. Mm-hmm. But whenever he came in, I feel like I learned a lot, and I think I have way more to improve on.
Right. Well, and it seems like you're only going to keep improving on it, too.
Yes.
I think, in general, track and field is hard. But I think the hardest thing about it is, whenever you compete against people, it's more of just, compete against yourself and, you against you, because there's someone always going to be better than you. Because obviously you want to get first or whatever, but you shouldn't get down on yourself if you did better than you did before, because you're still improving.
Really cool. And now, has there been a favorite meet of the year so far?
Probably sectionals.
Sectionals?
Yeah.
I don't really like sectionals. I don't like the track. I like Roxana the most.
There you go.
Yeah, Roxana, it's just more, it's not as green as sectionals.
Yeah, we were in Carrollton for sectional, so there's a lot of cornfields and a lot of green,
a lot of Americana out there.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, so you're heading up tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow night, yeah.
Well, and now, how long are you guys going to be up there for?
So they will compete on Friday during the day. It's a little bit more spread out than normal just because it's every 1A and 2A school
in
Illinois. And so they'll compete, but they get to do cool things like like in the Olympics when they do the parade ceremony. They'll get to be a part of that with like the teams in Illinois.
Oh, that's really cool.
And then stuff like this, obviously, just kind of like I like it because it shows these guys like, hey, what you're doing is a big deal, and there's only 1 or 2 kids from every single school in the state that get this opportunity.
What are you expecting to take away from this? Because I mean, this is your first state track meet too.
Yeah. I mean, I've won playoff games in football, but I've never been to like state. You know what I mean? For anything that I've done personally as an athlete, or championship games like in college or even a little bit semi-pro. But this is like just so cool because the vision that I casted to these guys about, hey, just go out there and worry about, you're going to compete against the guy next to you, but like Eliza said, competing against your best self.
Yeah.
Like, there's always room to improvement. And watching like Eliza battle an ankle injury for the last month and still win sectionals by a pretty hefty amount. Seeing her work through that because she's like, hey, I just want to keep competing against me.
That's cool.
So it's just the stuff like that. Like you can't make that stuff up, and it's like it motivates me to just be a better human. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
And that's why I just love sports in general. But with these guys, I know they're both in that mindset. Like, hey, they obviously want to win, but they also are like, hey, I just want to go out there and compete against my best self, do the best that I ever can. So that's what I'm really excited about.
That's really cool. Well, seriously, best of luck, and I just can't wait till you bring home first place. Before my curious mind wanders, I got to ask you, Steven.
Oh man,
I'm putting 2 and 2 together finally.
Yeah.
It's been a long morning. I'm like, oh god, Steven, I got to talk to you and stuff. So sorry about not getting back to you. Number one, let's just get this out of the way on the air, break the fourth wall here. But how's the podcast going?
It's going good. I've taken some time, just a little bit of time off, just with scheduling. I got twin toddlers at home, so that's another thing. And then I coach a lot of sports, and I do stuff with my church as well. So it's been we've taken some time off, but man, I love this type of environment. You know what I mean? Like it's where I'm comfortable at, and it started with just somebody saying, "Dude, you're really good at talking to people," and I'm like, you know what? Like my teacher said the same thing growing up. So yeah, I have a little podcast that I do outside of my house, and then I like to travel with it, and then I just know a lot of interesting people.
That's cool.
And so I think,
what do you guys talk about?
Anything. I call myself the Value City Joe Rogan. So yeah, nothing's off the table. I mean, I try. I helped out with like the local election in Collinsville with like their politics and stuff like that. But I've realized I'm not a political. It's a hard thing to go.
Local elections are brutal,
and so that kind of was like an eye-opening experience. But no, I've talked to D1 coaches for football.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then coaches around. Teachers, just normal people, stuff like that. So yeah, it's just fun to learn people's perspective on things.
Yeah, where can I find it?
Spotify, and we're on YouTube as well. My Curious Mind podcast.
I love it. Hey, and guys, seriously, before I let you go, what's your thoughts? Just final takeaway on this as you're heading into state. What's your kind of thought heading into tomorrow and leaving to go win some gold?
I'm really grateful I get the opportunity to even go. And even if I don't win, I'm so glad that I got to, but I hope I get at least third or higher. But, yeah, as long as I PR or I get a medal, I'll be fine.
Really cool.
I'm really excited for it. I'm glad that we are the first kids in our school to ever go to state, and I think it will be a great memory.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having us.
Best of luck this weekend.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
We'll take a quick break, and I'll come back and wrap up this Wednesday morning with you right after this quick one on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Village Dispenser.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Cardin Circus is coming to town. It's fun for the whole family. Don't miss out. Get ready for breathtaking aerial stunts and a heart-pounding thrill ride that will have you on the edge of your seat. 2 nights only. See the magic in Jerseyville on May 27th and Highland on May 29th. Bring the whole family and experience the wonder of Carden Circus. Get your tickets now at glowcircus.com.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone, and over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Alrighty, one final thing. Not a couple of 3 things, just one final thing for you. From the city of Edwardsville. Edwardsville Police Department reminding drivers to buckle up as part of their national Click It or Ticket campaign. The High Visibility Seat Belt Enforcement Initiative runs from May 16th to May 27th. Coinciding with the Memorial Day holiday. Seat belts should be used by everyone, and it's the simplest way to reduce injury and save lives in crashes, said Lieutenant Matt Sensi. Illinois enacted a seatbelt law 40 years ago, becoming the 3rd state to require seatbelt use for drivers and front seat passengers 8 or older. Children under 8 were required to be secured in appropriate child safety seats. And since the seatbelt law's introduction and subsequent upgrade more than 2 decades ago, seatbelt usage had surged from 15% in 1985 to 92% in 2024. The dramatic improvement underscores the effectiveness of it. A key focus of that Click It or Ticket campaign will be the nighttime enforcement, as Illinois crash data indicates that higher rates of unrestrained fatalities occur at night. Notably, in 2023, 72% of male passenger vehicle occupants killed in crashes were unrestrained, compared to 28% of female passenger vehicle occupants. This Click It or Ticket campaign is funded with federal highway safety funds administered by IDOT, and for more information, you can find out more at itsnotagameillinois.com. Once again, that Click It or Ticket campaign will be the High Visibility Initiative running from May the 16th, that's Friday, to May the 27th. So wanted to fill you in on that before I said so long to you for now. Not a bad one. I'm feeling better finally. You know, hanging in there, rolling with the punches. Then I'll see you tomorrow on a Thursday. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.